Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Wednesday Open League cast of Hofstra University versus Case Western Reserve University. That is a mouthful, but we got it out there. Maps for y'all tonight are going to be Coastline, which was picked by Hofstra, I believe. And also to join me on this wonderful, wonderful cast, we got my the caster formerly known as CDAPS, Dabo Sheen.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're looking forward to a great game today. And actually, Case Western was the pick with Coastline and
Yes, you
Hofstra.
are in fact correct.
Hofstra chose to go to Clubhouse right afterwards.
With each of their own, they're both attacking on their own picks, so that makes it easy for us. And
Yeah.
starting lineups, starting lineups are going to be a formal Fox 909 starting out for Hofstra. It's going to be followed up by Crazy Pat 124, Jedi Wood, Amfat Hobkey, and C Yang 1. And then for Case Western, we got 4 people in right now, but we will get the fifth in here soon. It's going to be Tango Mango Down, Orion Quan Bui 1613 Levant, and it's going to be Noxious Leon as the final person for Case Western. And as far as expectations go, both of these teams, uh, I haven't actually seen them before, as this is actually my first Open League cast, I believe. And it's going to be, I believe, for both of these, you got, or looking up right now, as far as the teams go. But hopefully we're gonna get a good game out of here tonight. And just a reminder for you all, this is gonna be a best of two scenario, so it's gonna be 2 maps maximum, and whoever wins the most of them gets the win. And if there is a tie, there is a tie. There is no overtime, so maps can end in a 6-6. And for anybody getting into specifics of those who like to do standings wise, we got Case Western Reserve University. They're currently sitting in third in their position, or in a tie for second right now. Oh, nope, sole possession of third due to round differential tiebreak. With them sitting at 2 wins, 1 partial win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. And then Hofstra's actually sharing the same amount of points, but they're holding out in fourth right now with a -1 round differential, unfortunately for them. But they do have one more loss than Case Western right now. So definitely gonna be a good match, and but it is worth noting that Case Western has played one less game than Hofstra, so that'll probably get due to spring break, so it's gonna get probably sorted out in the very near future, whenever they decide to get their spring break game rescheduled and done with. But which might actually be this one if things check out right. But getting into things, I do think this is gonna be a very very close match, based off of just like these standings in general. What do you think, ZDeps?
Yeah, definitely. I like the map choices. It's going to really bring in a very polarizing two different maps. You have Coastline, which is essentially the Dust 2 of Rainbow Six Siege. You're going to have a really frag heavy style of some high octane attacking, meeting some good angle holding on defense. But then as we transition to the second map on Clubhouse, it's definitely a more defender sided map that is a lot more structured and utility based, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I do actually want to see, as far as, because I personally up in Invite League we run Coastline, um kind of it is, as you said, frag heavy, and I'm curious to see if it carries through on this one, like what kind of operators are going to pull out here, or if they're going to go for a more utility approach, as it is possible to run Coastline from a utility standpoint. But like just running with a bunch of like Capitao, Thatcher, Thermite, Heartbreach, and then just going like a little bit of a anti gadget through the full maybe an IQ, something like that. But just looking at the stats alone, something to look out for actually for Hofstra right here. It's going to be Yang coming out with almost the 1.5 KD on the season right now, so he's definitely someone to look out for on that Hofstra lineup. And then and then almost to a T on the other side, Orion, who's playing on Case Western Reserve, he has a 1.6 KD, which is actually insane.
Yeah, it's definitely a really strong KD that he's making for himself, as well as he is sitting on 99 kills. Hopefully, maybe he'll get a little bit aggressive on the start and try to hit that big triple digits.
Yeah, the triple digit milestone, definitely one you want to aim for here. And it is probably one of the better things to get, especially this late in the season. It is one of those things where it's a very kind of exclusive club, as not many teams have done it thus far. Um, And if he can make it into it, that's definitely gonna be a little flex he can pull on his teammates. He's like, "Do you have 100 kills?" But hopefully he can get it early on here, and it's sooner rather than later for him, as he can keep adding on those kills for later.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when you're on entry frag, you it's a lot of a mental game in that instance. As you know, you have to go in, you have to get the momentum started for your team, and if you're definitely in that role, getting the kills, you're going to be able to really start rolling the ball and taking the map control you need.
For sure. And we are waiting on the last one still. So if anyone's wondering about the wait, that is why. We will get it down eventually. But in the meantime, I do want to talk about as far as just previous outcomes here. These teams do seem to be prone to get the less than win outcomes. Do you think it's going to be a draw here with how close these guys are in the standings?
I think even with I believe it was Hofstra is a game behind on Case Western. I know there's going to be a bit of a tight race for this Division 10 with Elon and Ohio State really holding up the number 1 and 2 spot, but here's Case Western is still a game behind Elon. They can go ahead and tie it up on points wise and have to go to round differential.
Hmm.
So it's definitely a possibility that they're going to want to push forward, and I think hopefully that they'll be able to do it for them.
For sure. And unfortunately for Hofstra, it's gonna be a little harder to actually overtake Case Western, regardless of the outcome of this game, as they are, I believe it is 15 rounds behind them. So, if they do tie, they will. If these two teams tie or become a partial win for Hofstra, actually they'll overtake them just based off of points. But if it words are hard. If it is a draw here, they're gonna maintain the same places as they did earlier because it is just +1 to each. They'll both have 10 points and they'll still sit in the same spot. Yeah. And Stony Brook, if Stony Brook gets their week 6 game in here and wins their game, they could overtake both teams. So it's very very volatile in this division right now. Very, very close for the top 5 with Ohio State going in with 12 along with Elon, and then Case Western and Hofstra, we were actually just saying earlier, both have 9, and then Stony Brook with 8. So very, very tight race for the top right now. And de- yeah, top 2 definitely, definitely up in the air right now.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those cases that's the reason we play for. You want these last few weeks are definitely the most important, and you want
Hmm.
to definitely try to get as many points as possible to push for playoffs. That's where the real fun is.
For sure. And one thing I do want to take note of is that with week 6, it was originally said that Cali and Wamai would maybe make an appearance here, but that has been changed. It's not going. You cannot use those two operators until playoffs. And how do you feel about that with the late introduction of these two operators into the season?
At this point, I think originally with the ideas of essentially bringing in the Thatcher and Jaeger replacements, I do think as we've seen their roles sort of evolve into the meta and sort of the ranked play, we still haven't seen their introduction fully into pro tier gameplay. However, I do think that they act more as a supplement to those operators. I don't think Callie is quite the full Thatcher replacement. She's not quite as good. And same can be
Mm-hmm.
said about Jaeger. So I don't think that they're going to fully have a really drastic impact
Mm-hmm.
on exactly how things are going to be played. I think they might just add in a little extra wrinkle that could be fun to watch.
For sure. And I think Wamai is definitely gonna get more pick than Cali, as Cali's gun's kind of fickle. As unless you were opting like as a career choice in Counter Strike, it's gonna be a little hard to just port onto her, as it is a sniper rifle, and while it is a one hit down, it is kind of hard flicking that hard.
Oh yeah,
But also,
definitely.
there's some really, really weird ways you can get around her low explosive prong thing. I don't know remember exactly what the gadget's called, but her gadget, there's some really wonky interactions with it that you can actually work around to actually make her gadget kind of useless for the wall take. So definitely something to look out for, especially with we may actually just see Callie just due to the sheer fact that Thatcher gets banned so much. Because Thatcher's kind of been a unilateral ban as of late, so uh,
Yeah, definitely seeing with the rise in Thatcher bans in competitive play, it really, I think to a certain point, it's just strengthening IQ as an operator. You have a 3 speed with that LMG that so many people run to love with that angled grip that you can essentially go ahead and use her utility downstairs and then turn into an entry fragger.
For sure. And one thing I do like about Wamai, just to add on, is his magnets, which I thought was a funny pun, even though it literally just says magnet, and it's a magnet for devices. But it is you can throw them outside and they'll still work, which you
Yeah,
can't put
that's the
down
cool.
ADSs outside. So it's kind of a little upgrade on that, where it's like, hey, this is better. So.
Yeah, it's definitely you create more of a safe environment for yourself, as then you don't have to physically go run and place it down. You can just kind of throw it all the way across the map. Let's say you accidentally forgot to put down an ADS for one of your
Mm.
player anchors. You can just open up the wall a little bit and throw it.
And it does look like we are getting in here, and due to some unfortunate technical difficulties on the side of Case Western, with their fifth, they have a sub now in here, with the sub being Tim the Consuela. So interesting to see if he's gonna step it up and take up the fifth role for his team in a strong manner. As I don't think he was a main roster player from what I remember of the roster earlier. So uh, definitely when you're a sub and you get these little call ups to go play in the mainstream, a little bit of nerves probably, and also just overall a little hype because sub players definitely don't get to play as much as main roster.
Yeah, and so now we'll go ahead and see the first band coming out on Hofstra, taking away the Blackbeard off the board, which is definitely a really strong operator as you're attacking these top floor bomb sites. You can just hang upside down on the windows and have that extra life from the cling wrap that guards his face.
And we will see the second band coming in here, which is gonna be Montaigne, which I would expect to be a response for the suspected Kitchen take, as Monty on Kitchen is a mega pain, as he can kind of just walk in and say hello. This is now my area of the site where I can just stand behind my friend and he can plant and we can just walk right back out. Especially with smokes, Monty does come with smoke, so he is kind of an all-in-one planter defense almost.
Yeah,
And soon
definitely
there. Mm,
definitely allows himself to really get that diffuser down onto the ground as well as makes post plants really difficult to take him out. We'll also
for
see
sure.
Valkyrie going off the board,
Yeah.
who's definitely a very strong operator on coastline, as seen by people on videos such as Coconut Bra, constantly bringing in some
Raw.
crazy spam cam spots that get so much intel on this map in specific.
For sure. And the final ban being Pulse here. Not a operator you really get see banned on this map too much, as Pulse is kind of weak with his kit being the UMP 45, which is widely regarded to be one of the weakest guns in the game. There's a famous clip of Canadian at the SI flaming Geo a little bit with it, but uh, nonetheless, still pretty much the worst gun probably in the game, if outside of pistol choices. But also his gadget is pretty much the only thing he has going for him with the nitro, as you can kind of just decide to remove someone from the upper floors with it if you hit it right. So I'm interested to see, but there is Echo left up, which is definitely going to be the thing that I want to see if that has an effect on this map, because Echo is the bane of planters.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's not very many operators in this game who can win a 1v5 as time dwindles down, just sitting completely on the other side of the map.
hmm
Because
But
as soon as
interesting.
that invisible camera's up in the sky starts blasting you with an air blast and you have to get off the diffuser when there's 0 seconds left, it's not
Yeah.
really a fun time.
Oh, for sure not. But one interesting pick
Attackers
that is
need to
coming out in
locate and
addition to the
defuse as many
Echo
bombs as
here
they
is
can.
the choice of Frost. Which Frost is another one of those operators where you don't really see too much of it, just period, due to the fact that her gadget is kind of weak, where it's a very situational kind of gadget where you really use it to cut off. You put it in blind spots so people fall on them, and to get downed as many people probably
Attackers
fallen
have
victim
located a
to
bomb.
hopping through windows or over ballistic shields, or not ballistic shields, deployable shields. So definitely maybe going for the walk-in kind of barbit and mat it type approach inside
10
of
seconds
hookah,
to
hoping someone's
insertion.
just gonna go down on it.
Yeah, and
5
so
seconds left
we
before
actually are
insertion.
seeing a whole lot of reinforcements going down around site. Usually that
Attackers'
wall on the
objective
top of
is to
Cool
Hmm.
defuse
Vibes
a
is
bomb.
left soft for
Yeah.
rotate hole. However, it does seem that they kind of want to leave Cool Vibes out of the rotation and allow those attackers possibly to take up some space. However, they will have to go in through the doorway, which could funnel down into a very difficult situation for them this time. It's dwindling.
Yeah, I'm curious to know as to why they reinforce Cool Vibes. Because Cool Vibes is one of those things where you can have someone play there and pretty much deny any kind of plant behind that little hookah bench, and it makes for a very very tight angle to try to peek from the outside, as trying to pre-fire it more often than not will not net you anything except some damage unless you get a lucky headshot through the bench. But right as I say that, Tango Mango takes down Formal Fox on Jackal. I believe Formal Fox was actually hanging out inside a bedroom, it looks
Attacker's
like, and
bomb
got quickly
diffuser
taken down.
has been dropped.
Yang quickly refragging onto Orion. Battle of the Fraggers, and Hofstra's Fragger wins.
And here with your Jaeger already off the board, that is your primary roamer gone. However, all the utility being removed off of that Zofia, there's a bunch of shields up, those frost mats hiding
Attackers
behind
have
them.
recovered their
Having
diffuser.
the speaking of that, the sledge has gone ahead and pardon me, that is the sledge has gone ahead and downed the frost behind Hookah Bar. Over it is unknown of that position that they might be on the ground, over it might have a little bit of intuition here.
Mhm. And
Actually, I'm completely wrong. That was just a prone, not a down. I read
Bomb
into that
located
one
by attackers.
incorrectly here. But now, as we are seeing all four defenders for Hofstra have gone back down to site, but Tango Mango will be entering in through VIP and going ahead and removing the head of C Yang, as Crazy Pat does get a refrag on.
yeah, and honestly, Frost paying dividends here, regardless of the mat usage or not. But ooh boy, almost getting taken down here is gonna be Quanbui on that buck, but and then Tango does actually go down to that Frost, I believe, who was hanging out inside of Hookah there. So down on the Jackal, so it's effectively a 2v3 scenario right now, but Jedi almost goes down right there, making it even. But another down from the side of uh, Case Western. Now it's a 1v2, but it's really a 1v1, but I don't know if Hobkey knows this, as he is holding the angle a little bit hard, so might actually know it's a 1v1, but Diffuser is down over in hallway, and Hobkey does have the angle. Actually, no, never mind. That Hobkey's hanging out in theater. I take that back.
Yeah, he's definitely taking a more passive approach and going to rotate in. Probably going to try to flank this soft breacher, maybe
15
Oh,
play
seconds
where's your
to
towards
go.
teammate?
90.
Attackers recovered the bomb
As Tim the
diffuser.
Consul
Nope.
Consuela actually does
10
not know his
seconds
teammate
remaining.
bleeds out. Now his time is going down. He's going to go ahead and start getting in that rotation.
5
However, like
seconds
we
to
said
go.
earlier, that hard reinforcement is going to give some protection
Oh
in towards
no.
the Nomad. As one air jab does go off and
Defenders have
alerts the
located the
position of
diffuser.
where exactly the Rook is. Nomad does actually peek the wrong way.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened there, but he had the Nomad activate, and then actually got shot from the angle and proceeded to peek the rotate. So I'm not, maybe a little bit of a preemptive pre-fire there. Uh, Expecting him to sprint over to the rotate hole, but fortunately does end up getting the kill and the round for his team to start out things for him.
Yeah, it's definitely like some good impact in from the sub, making an immediate strong case for him playing. He comes in, gets the clutch, and takes the first round for Case Western.
For sure. And we will actually see a return to Hookah here for Hofstra with pretty much the same operators. So this is maybe a sorry, I lost my train of thought, but uh probably gonna run for the same kind of setup here. And oh, it's not the same. We actually have a Legion this time. I beg your pardon. And with the Legion, there is something important to note though. With the new season, Legion actually got nerfed. So Legion, he now can only see his Legion mines if they're in line of sight, and there's the initial damage that's been removed. So only the tick damage from the Legion mines now actually hurt you. So
Attackers need to
definitely a
locate
good
and
good
defuse
thing
bomb.
for Legion getting nerfed, so he's not as absolutely busted as he has been since his pretty much release.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong operator. So now you really just have to be more wary of exactly where your goo mines are. You want to get that extra intel. You gotta listen for the audio cues to really know exactly where the push is happening. So his role as an intel gathering operator has been definitely removed.
Yeah, for sure. Unless you have some god tier sound, like just hearing capabilities.
10 seconds
Definitely
remaining.
a nerf in that regard, not being able to immediately tell where the
5
goo
seconds to
mine pop
insertion.
came from. But another change up we see here is
Attackers
actually
must locate and
Sledge.
defuse a bomb.
Actually, not Sledge. Ash getting taken in instead of the buck from Quan. Uh, maybe a change up here, opting in for a little bit more of a easier to control gun here, as Buck's C8 is notoriously recoil heavy. Most people choose not to run it with the ACOG period, just due to the fact that his recoil is so extreme. And Ash, on the other hand, her R4C has little to no recoil at all, period.
A
Yeah,
bomb
it's
has been
definitely the gun
located.
of choice for those brain dead rushers. Just
Oh
want to
yeah,
pick a really easy to use gun, just sprint in and click some heads.
yeah. But we will see a little bit of a cheeky drone here coming out in the hallway. Um, Maybe trying to spot out anybody going through hallway, but as the attackers have already, I believe, found out it
Attackers
is going
dropped
to
the
be
diffuser. Attackers
hookah
recovered the
again.
bomb diffuser.
Does look like there will be just a soft push from Penthouse, but Formal Fox is holding this area down. We'll get the one drone and run back to VIP to probably try to hold off Tango Mango as he works his way through here.
And now we will see the return back to site, as a lot of map control has already been taken, as VIP as well as master bedroom and theater, I believe. Sorry, that word escaped me. But as all this map control is, there's a minute and 30 left. No picks have gone to either side. It's going to be a really hard take at the end, as we are seeing Levin going for the grenade on the floor, but unfortunately misses out on the Jackal Track defender.
Very, very close there to actually picking up that kill, as the grenade was inches from actually downing Frost. But as I say that, Orion gets the headshot onto Formal Fox in Billiards, and Frost will actually swing on Case Western. It's going to be quanting most of that damage, getting taken down very, very low. But Yang gets the refrag onto Tango Mango with the Echo kill. And we actually have it down on the side of Hofstra there. Jedi Wood down on the Mozzie. Will get res by his teammate of Yang. So we'll be back to a 4v4 scenario, no harm done except for 20 HP on him now. So Crazy Pat and Jedi Wood taken very low, but we do have a nice little window peek here, taking up the ADS. And we'll actually probably see a little bit of a push into site lately, but we do actually have Cool Vibes rather open with the rotate. So if they do decide to run in here for the backside, there will be a person waiting for him to run into. But a peek does come in from Orion, gets the kill on a C, and quickly followed by another kill on a Jedi Woods. Triple kill for him. He might actually get the ace here if he pushes forward hard enough. But we will have Quan going down on Ash, getting downed. Ooh, quad kill for Orion. Still alive, though. He has the opportunity for the ace here, and actually might have gotten it there. I don't know if it was... Nope, Levin takes the ace from him. Bad teammate.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to see. However, the Zofia did do a really great job of entering in and winning the duels needed to help take that map control here. And now when you're up 2-0 on Coastline, you're starting to really feel yourself. You're going to have your momentum rolling. And as we said earlier, it's a frag heavy map. Sometimes we're going to see Tango Mango actually switch onto the F2 of Twitch, which is another very, very frag heavy gun.
For
And
sure.
we actually will see a switch onto the first floor kitchen and service entrance site for the defenders. This is the first time we're seeing this for this match, and hopefully they're going to try to swing things around and get this to a 2-1.
Yeah, definitely 2-1 is in their best interest, as it is 6-round halves, so they are about the half. They are at the halfway point for the half, and you definitely, especially on Coastline, you definitely want to go into your defensive side with as many rounds as possible. And right now, it's not looking that good.
Yeah, and a very similar lineup for both attacking and defending teams. Actually,
Defenders,
instead
protect
of
your
the
bombs from being
Frost,
defused by
there will
attackers.
be a Capcan, another trap operator being seen, as well as the return of an ACOG instead of the Rookie to the Dock, as well as Formal Fox going ahead and
Attackers have
bringing
located a bomb.
in the Goya with those Vulcan shields to try to burn away as much time, literally.
Yeah, and I'm starting to wonder if Hobkey's actually just a trap operator, man.
Yeah,
Like, he's
definitely
played the
seeming
Frost
like
and the
it.
Capcan, so.
Hey, I mean, sometimes if you want those free kills, it is a very nice feeling to
10
just be
seconds
sitting
to
on the
go.
other side of the map and see your score line go up. You're like, oh wow, something I
5
placed at the
seconds
beginning
to
of the
go.
round did something.
Yeah. Especially, it's probably one of the most tilting
Attackers
feelings ever,
objective
just
is
to have
defuse the bomb.
the Capcan traps kill you or down you, period. Oh man, my voice. Kill you, period. It's just walking into one to begin with is kind of a tilting experience, as you do have a fun little experience of having just absolutely the balls knocked out of you, and it's a fun time for Capcan, not so much as 51 points just magically disappears from your health bar.
We actually will see the first Vulcan shield outside, going ahead and wasting away some of the utility on the Ash here. But unfortunately, Levin will go ahead and get the kill onto the roaming Vigil of Sea Yang with a hard fragger off the board for Hofstra. It is going to be relinquishing a lot of the top floor control here, as I do not believe that they have any roamers left upstairs.
Yeah, and I don't know what his aim was doing there, if it was a spectator bug or something, because I don't actually think he adjusted at all for that, which I don't know what happened there, but an unfortunate circumstance nonetheless, as that is the Vigil down, and that's one roamer down, and I do believe that it's only Jedi Wood who's the remaining roamer, might actually just be yep, he is hanging out in security right now, so does have the flank potential there. But with Case Western having full vertical control of this map right now, it's looking a very strong round for Case Western.
Yeah, as we are going to see the sledge going ahead and hammering out the entire floor, but I'm trying to flush out exactly where all these deep anchors are, as Tango Mango does get funneled, as one of the defenders does get funneled right into his line of sight. Now we will see Nomad going ahead and putting those air jabs onto those main staircases, really making it too difficult for these attackers or defenders to run back upstairs and get a possible retake.
One thing I actually want to point out here is Tango Mango's running the 417.
Yikes. I did say he was bringing the F2, but...
So he literally one-tapped. Literally one-tapped Crazy Pat for that one kill. That was... Because the 417, for those people who don't know of its existence because no one uses it, it is the Twitch DMR. So it is a semi-auto, so you have to click it works the same exact way as a Dokkaebi per gun, but it's actually used for Dokkaebi. But ooh, another one actually peeking out here will take down Tango Mango with Formal Fox on the Vector for Boyer there.
Yeah, it's definitely that.
Gets
That
another
Vector is
kill.
Yep, the Vector is a very strong gun, as Jedi Wood does go ahead and get a flank kill from security and goes ahead and runs out here. However, we will see the Sophia peeking him going down as does go ahead and swing Formal Fox on the kill here. 12 seconds left with a strong anchoring position in from the ear, but Timothy Consuela using his ARX to go ahead and get that lobby control here. The sledgehammer going in, diffusers down outside and a cap. Oh,
that was we thought it was a cap can, but it's a nitro.
That was a cap can trap, but it was a nitro. Sad.
That's actually kind of smart. He had the nitro underneath the door, so when he broke the door, he heard the door break and immediately blew it, so it killed the sledge.
Yeah, it's a good use of those sound cues, even as the timer's going down, there's shots firing everywhere, footsteps sprinting around, dropping hatches. Being able to really hone in on that exact sound that you want to hear. As soon as that door breaks, click your button and get a free kill.
Yes, sir. And Hookah is back on the rotation here, as that is the first round that Hofstra's actually won here, which for a defensive side, that's not too great. But since they do actually lock down the kitchen side, they have to go back to Hookah right here, which has been like the bane of their side kind of right now. As lost the first 2 rounds on it, hopefully they'll be able to shore up whatever issues they were having last time, as they do actually get rid of the frost, opting for the cap can again. So we maybe thinking that cap can is a little bit of an easier trap op to run for this site.
Yeah, and I do think the gun is definitely a lot better. It shoots a good amount faster, as well as you can. Those Russian 1X optics are kind of fun to use. It has a really clear sight picture, as opposed to having to run either a red dot or a reflect on the 9mm. Was it the 9MC1 or something like that for Frost? That LMG.
Yeah. Well, Frost I don't think has an LMG. I think she has an AR, and then her backup's the Super 90.
Sniper
or like
90.
Oh my god, the Super 90 on release was something else. It was wrong.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get killed across the map by a shotgun. Not a great feeling.
Kite. Sorry.
Just like not wanting to run into a Capcan trap placed across the map and instantly have 50% of your health just gone.
Yeah. I think we can all relate to anybody who played prior to Parabellum. The Super 90 was kind of the bane of your existence period, along with pre-placed nitros, which have been seeing a little bit of a resurgence lately, which I am kind of happy to see. As pre-placed nitros are fun if you can hit them, but as it does usually net you a kill at least 50% of the time. And it is super tilting towards the other team because they kind of just walk right onto it. But very, very early gunfight coming out here between Quan and Tango. Tango will get the better of Jedi there. And it's a good start, but right as I say that, Hobkey gets the kill onto Orion, not necessarily aware of his presence coming through VIP, or guitar part, pardon me, or Hall of Fame, whichever one suits your taste. And we'll get taken down to about 80 HP through a little bit of a door spam. Very awkward situation now, as both Jaeger and Zofia are off the map for each of these teams, but I do feel Zofia is the worse for wear loss here.
Yeah, and actually an interesting thing about that engagement we saw with the Captain, he actually barricaded off Master Bedroom, gonna waste a little bit more time of these attackers as they have to punch down this barricade.
And it's kind of funny that he actually got the barricade off, or even had the presence of mind to do it, as if you're trying to barricade that close to someone you just killed, usually there is someone following up, so ballsy move out of him, trying to barricade right in front of a dude he just killed.
Now, we are seeing some drone coming in here. The Echo drone will be attempted to remove, but I do believe it makes its great escape, as the Ash does not fall for the Capcan trap on the doorway here. As we see Levin below, trying to get some teams out and remove some anchors here with the below vertical play. Probably going to go for that nade he was so close to hitting last time. Instead, he's just opened up the hatch and trying to get a really cheeky angle onto a head of an unsuspecting defender.
And the very, very actually, oh, and right as I say that, the thing I was going to talk about was they're getting very, very close to hitting each other in the head through the hatches. But shots do actually end up connecting with Levin taking out Hobkey. And then quickly, Levin getting taken very, very low into the down state by the man playing on Cool Vibes right now. It does look like he will get these successful reds off onto his teammate. 23 seconds left for this Case Western team to actually get the plant down. Flashes start going in to burn out the ADSs of Bar, but Tango gets the kill onto Former Fox, and rushes will come in as flashbangs are going off all around him. Impact grenade goes to hit the Goyo shield. Will get it down, but still gets killed by Tanko Mango. Self-kill, actually, I think it was Tim the Consuelo going down to the Goyo shield itself, which is kind of insane, but the round will eventually go down to Case Western taking their third round of the game.
You know, and all these rounds on Hookah have been so close, and like there's usually like 10 seconds left, and it's like Hofstra just can't get that final pick that they need. I know that definitely has to feel really frustrating as you are defending a site that you need to win. You definitely don't want to go down 5-1 or 4-1 in this instance. You want to try to anger this back to 3-3 here. If they are able to win Hookah for the first time, they will be able to go back down to Kitchen, maybe help it to get a 3-3 half on defense so you can reconcile into halftime, try to get some momentum to go for it on attack.
For sure. And one thing that we will see and actually chat here, a little bit of a kind of sportsmanlike move there, saying Tango saying he really liked the setup that Hofstra came there and is definitely going to steal it. So maybe we might see that setup a little bit more, as it was actually kind of a cool setup, especially with the Goyo shields, as Goyo's shields actually did a ton of damage to Case Western that round.
Yeah, it's definitely exactly what you saw with the addition of the traps with the Capcan. As the time dwindled down, Capcan traps become most dangerous when they're on those site doors, and you gotta sprint in with 10 seconds left trying to get the diffuser. You don't have time to really check every corner of the site, and like we said earlier, they go ahead and remove 50% of your health. If you had a prior engagement with any of those other defenders, you could just be wiped off immediately.
For sure. And we will see the same operators coming out for the side of both teams, actually, I believe. With Tango really liking that Jackal pick, and usually Jackal is the instant ban option for default bans, but since he got his nerf, he has been a little bit of a lower priority ban here, which has allowed him to come through and shine. His C7E is still busted as heck, in my opinion, due to the fact that it has no recoil and it has a very, very high damage comparatively to other assault rifles. But his gadget is really the only nerf they gave him, and I don't think, I think the operator is still a very healthy operator.
Yeah, I think his strength, a lot of people don't like him on Coastline because of exactly how the map is structured. When you have that big square opening up here, Jackal actually can scan from on the roof. You can
Yeah, it's
possibly
wild.
find some toes through either on luggage or right outside of VIP Circle Lounge.
And honestly, the Jackal gadget range is insane. I think the only... Ooh, might see a frag kill here. Never mind. Ooh. Okay. Don't know what I
Unfortunate
just
timing.
witnessed there.
Unfortunate timing is what you just said.
True.
Here, as we will see Levin going for the similar angle to what he did last time. So he was able to find one pick through the floor. Failed the nade, unfortunately, and the Rook did did manage to go ahead and escape through the rotate hole.
Bomb located by attackers.
And we will actually see a long angle coming in here from Capcam, and no kill thus far, but will take down Orion to about 75% HP, and actually a lot of damage going down on the Jackal right there. And still so far no kills, but very, very impactful damage getting thrown down on the other team so far. Jedi Wood getting taken about half HP, and drones will start to come out again as we see a little bit of a slowdown here coming for the team of Case Western.
Jedi Wood is still on the board with the Jaeger. Gonna go ahead and rotate in between. Actually, fake this rotate and is gonna just sit and hold luggage here. As Quan B is going ahead and jiggle peeking out, trying to cut some angles with that ACOG of the 236C on the Ash. Now Zofia is going thrown inside of luggage, trying to, as the pop shots go above his head, going on a military crawl here. He will eventually run into two defenders sitting here, but Orion does get to go ahead and get the pick onto the bulging Capcan as he goes ahead and takes out the Jaeger himself. Now, as more trades go out, Crazy Pat does get on to Tango Mango down, and Weeby does go ahead and take out Crazy Pat now. Ryan is on the board now. 1v3 situation. There is C Yang on the Echo. With the diffuser on the ground, goes in and downs the Ash. Here's the other player goes and tries to confirm his kill, runs straight into the sledge holding base, and unfortunately is unable to clutch because of that little bit of kill greed.
Yeah, and a little bit of kill greed ending up in big dividends actually for Hofstra. Actually, no, Case Western there, as kill greed does often backfire on those who use it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun situation where there's still two people up on the board, and when you have somebody downed, all you got to do is try to finish it out. You got to focus on the people who still have their guns in their hands trying to shoot you, as opposed to the person crawling around on the ground making some red art.
Yeah. But with the Goya shields actually paying dividends here again, actually, is we did see Sophia actually getting a large amount of damage taken down onto her with the explosion of the Goyo shield itself, and that was actually diffuser that went down over there, so it had to turn into a kill hunt after that, basically just running TDM for the last couple seconds of the round, which thankfully did actually end up going the way of Case Western there, because it got sketchy towards the end.
Yeah, definitely got sketchy towards the end. Is when you have
Attackers need
the
to locate and defuse
Echo
bombs.
still on the board, there was the opportunity to use the utility. However, when you're just sitting in the middle of sight and everybody's around you, you sort of do need that distance buffer, where you would be in a very vulnerable state to go ahead and whip out your wristwatch and try to get onto your Echo cams.
Yeah, and since the two-round rotation has been fulfilled, the team known as Hofstra can actually manage to go back to the side that they did get their solo win on so far. They can go back to the site and hopefully win another round for them to make the match a little bit closer, as Case Western's kind of running away with it right now.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, in a 4-1 instance here, they're going to try to ice out to a 5-1 and take the rest of their momentum here. However, this was the site that we saw Hofstra win, I believe, 2 rounds ago, and it was very close.
Yeah, and the person who stood out on that round that they did end up winning was actually the Vigil of Seeing, actually, I believe, who had some pretty nice roam kills up on the second floor, making sure that Case Western didn't get any people down onto the bottom floor.
We are going to see some meticulous drone work here, but Seeing is in a very aggressive angle inside of Aqua behind the door. He is using his cloak, so maybe the drones don't exactly know where he is. He's going to go ahead and swing here and try to escape into billiards here as the nade is getting cooked out.
Very, very close there, actually getting his head taken off, and will actually go down, and that is the diffuser. Seeing taking down Orion. Buck getting taken down, so one hard breach down, and Diffuser is now known to be on Aqua Balcony. This is great news for the defending side, as once you get the Diffuser, you can start rotating more people over to that side to defend it heavily, as Aqua Balcony is actually very awkward, because you have to rappel up to it, so there is a split second of lag time that you have as you climb up to exit the rappel, where you can actually just get absolutely destroyed. So,
Yeah, you definitely don't want to have those frames of vulnerability where, if as soon as you're going over that board, somebody swings you. There's not really anything you can do. Now, as the user is going down here, the Ash is going to go ahead and remove the head of the roaming vigil that is Yang off the board, who has been
Attackers
quite
recover the
good for
diffuser.
Hofstra.
and that will be evening it up for both of these teams, and now the vertical gameplay can come in here with the breaching charges and the ash charges and the jackal shotguns and the sledges coming through. A lot of vertical play with soft breach here coming in for the side of Case Western, which is going to give them a lot of site control in the later stages of this round. But with 50 seconds left, ooh, actually one person does get spotted out there in blue bar. It's going to be the Mozzie of Crazy Pat there getting, pardon me, Rook getting taken down, right, and following soon thereafter is Docby getting taken down by Tango Mango. Tango Mango really has the Hofstra number right now, but Jedi Wood will get the trade headshot onto Tim the Consuela, with Formal Fox
Attackers have
taking down
recovered
Tango
the
Mango soon
diffuser.
thereafter. 2v2 situation right now, with Formal Fox actually having a nice angle into the bathrooms right now, and also in the kitchen, kind of peeking it right there, but will get taken down very, very quickly by Levant on the
15
sledge.
seconds left.
Pushing in, but will
Attackers
actually
drop
get
the bomb diffuser.
flanked by Jedi Wood on Mozzie, having a stand-up performance right now. Ooh, and just narrowly misses the head of Quan, but will still actually die to the Capcan trap there. And as we were saying, tilting things happen around those Capcan traps.
Yeah, that's definitely has to feel like a round that got taken straight out of your hands by some utility. Here, the Ash had to go ahead and chase the Mozzie away, but ran right into that explosive and was just killed without a gun. And that's one of the most frustrating things in this game.
And we will be seeing a return to Hookah there, as they did lock down Kitchen once again. So we'll bring it to a 2v4 scenario. And we'll actually be going into round 7 here. So we do have a side swap now coming in for these two teams.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see exactly how this Case Western team chooses to defend. We did see a lot of losses in the site for Hofstra, so maybe we will see the slight tweaks in exactly how Case Western wants to hold it. Maybe we'll see some success on this Hookah site, which most people do refer to as the strongest site on this map. It is the tertiary bomb site, with Kitchen usually being in a close second, sort of depending on exactly the preference
Attackers
of the
need to
teams.
locate
But
and
it is
defuse as
sort
many
of a
bombs as they can.
almost unanimous that most people do like defending Hookah over Kitchen.
Mm. And Hookah is, in my opinion, probably the best site on this map, as it's probably the most locked down of the sites in terms of access to outside, as there is only 2 ways to get into it from the outside.
Attackers
Whereas
have
Kitchen,
located a
it's
bomb.
you got service you can get from the outside, you can get from outside from the window on Kitchen, which does have the same amount of openings, but it's also open to vertical gameplay, whereas vertical gameplay not such a strong factor for this
10
site.
seconds to insertion.
Yeah, you definitely have. It's a lot more linear in the way that
5
you have
seconds
to
left.
either bully your way into hookah, use some utility, or you bully your way into aqua.
Attackers'
There's not a
objective
whole
is
lot
to defuse a
of
bomb.
different ways to attack in here. There's a lot more choke points you have to run through when you're getting to kitchen or getting into hookah, as opposed to if you're taking kitchen, where you can just blast out everything from above and rain bullets and grenades onto the unsuspecting anchors.
Mhm. And we'll actually see a very aggressive angle being taken here by Orion outside of the hookah window here. Waiting for those people to come, maybe peek ruins or peek up from the little stairs leading up to hookah balcony, but will actually not catch anyone out for it due to some unfortunate timing. As 2 players actually from Hofstra decided to walk up those stairs, but quickly standing against it, electing to go over to the VIP balcony.
We will see. It's definitely going to be a take in onto Circle Lounge VIP area, as Formal Fox is going to go ahead and drone out some areas here. But Quanby is playing beneath and possibly actually did remove the pre-placed nitro that would have possibly taken off this thermite or IQ off the board here. But now as the entrance is going to go in, they most likely do actually see that Maestro Cam go ahead and ping it out for one of the soft breaches to remove. But Orion does go ahead and take out Formal
Bomb
Fox.
located
That's
by
the
attackers.
IQ off the board with a headshot from the Doc.
Yeah, and Doc is one of those operators where he's, I think, classified as a support operator by the game itself, but very much so a frag operator, as most of the people who are taking him are absolutely cracked out of their minds in terms of aim. So definitely a little bit of a issue, pushing the issue for the Buck, right? Pushing the issue in terms of kill pressure there with that Doc pick. But we will see the bar of Aqua Bar actually getting opened out from below to make sure no one's in there to try to foil their Aqua push there. And aggressive sightlines being opened up here by the Case Western people still, as they are peeking everything.
Yeah, the Buck is on a rappel, trying to get some angles into these over-peeking defenders, holding these deep angles all the way through sight. However, it does seem Orion is being sneaky in his placement of luggage, possibly could take out a unsuspecting attacker as they swing in here. But now as the execute is going in towards the B bomb site, Hopkey is using the smoke to go ahead and take out here. But as he is heard
Okay.
by the Maestro, the skill is actually stolen by the Legion, unfortunately here. The Fuser is down on the ground. Crazy Patty is using that 417 that we talked about a little bit earlier. Most people do opt to use the F2, but some people like the
15
DMR.
seconds remaining.
It's all about how many clicks you can fit in as fast as possible.
Seconds to go.
But very, very close there actually to getting the plant off through the smoke. Smoke unfortunately dying in a little bit of an awkward situation, but awkward gunfight coming in here for the Hofstra player known as Crazy Pat, and will eventually get taken down by Levin's Maestro to give them the round, actually. And I believe that brings it to a match point here? Nope,
Yeah, with
5.
yeah, there's still gonna be 2 more wins needed for these Case Western defenders now here. And when you have Maestro with that gun, that LMG, you take away his ACOG, you know, yeah, you still have 81 bullets and an absolute insane fire rate with a lot of damage. But the ACOG was the problem for sure in that nerf.
Mhm. And a lot of the Case Western players here are actually posting very, very high kill counts right now, with 3 players on Case Western actually racking up 8 here, and the Tachanka hover coming out of Tango here, probably gonna take off of it for a more. Yep, there we go. The Mira, which is a much, much better pick, especially for this penthouse hold, is I'm not actually sure of any good Chanka holds for that site.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, definitely using the mirror on these soft walls. There's going to be a really strong lines of sight to remove any of the drop in the bathroom. When you have those mirror windows, you can just peek them and do stuff like that in order to go ahead and drop anybody that chooses to drop.
Interesting. Something blue bar. I'm not quite sure what's going down inside of chat. We might be getting a little bit of observer troll here from Tango Mango, which would be kind of rude. Get some rude dudes in the chat for Tango, trolling our wonderful observer Carpe Bonasensum. And we will actually be seeing the start of round 8 and possibly the round that locks in Case Western for at least a draw this map.
Yeah, and with the shotgun of the mirror, gonna go ahead and open up those lines of sight I was talking about so much earlier here. Seeing does go ahead and take the happy cow. Gonna look towards possibly using that smoke
Bomb
utility on
located
a
by
swing in to try to go ahead and get a plant down here. This Crazy Pat did go ahead and take that 417 we talked about earlier. Is maybe I guess that is just his gun of choice. But Tim Consuelo is using the leash here. There's gonna be a whole lot of anchors sitting inside this leader entrance, trying to remove any way of swinging in to the site and getting some sort of sneaky plant.
Yeah, and another thing that probably might actually play a factor here is the gridlock of Hobkey here, as gridlock's oh, never mind. Formal Fox is going to take down Orion in a very, very saucy peek there.
Here, as I think it was a Twitch drone on Tango Mango trying to go ahead and break those bulletproof cameras. He did get tickled a little bit by the electric shock of the Twitch drone here. This Formal Fox is going to go ahead and do some jiggle peeking and face checking all of those deep angles that anchors do like to sit inside of VIP. Now there will be some droning in, removing one Legion Mind, seeing that this room is clear. Formal Fox will go ahead and push in and take some control.
Yeah, and that control is going to
Attackers have dropped
net
the
them a
bomb.
little bit of a wall destruction, trying to get the mirror walls out. Actually, I do believe gets one. Yeah, he does get the first mirror wall off, giving him actually the kill. And Cian quickly following up with another kill onto Quan. Very aggressive positioning coming out from here from Mira. Might not know that there is one on double window right now, which will actually end up killing him with a nice spray through the smoke there. Plant begins to soon go down, maybe. Yep, Plant is actually going down with Jedi's pushing it down over behind the bomb right there. Impact grenades will go out and attempt to get as much damage as possible. But it is a very, very dire situation for Levant here with the 1v4 right now. Does get the first one, so 1v5 taken down to a 1v4. Does not know where the rest of the players of Hofstra rather are right now, but most of them are over by the bomb, so he's going to have a tough time getting into here. 26 seconds left on the defuse, and he needs at least 7 to actually get the defuse. And time is ticking down very, very quickly here for him. And crossfires galore are going to make it even more difficult.
Yeah, and in addition to the crossfire, there's the actual fire seen from the Capital bolt. As with 10 seconds left, he does have to get on the diffuser really soon here. But Crazy Pat will go ahead and swing with that insane 417 on Twitch. You know, I think Ubi really thinks the 417 should be used more prominently. If you look at this gameplay here, the F2 did just get recently nerfed. Maybe we'll see a lot more 417 gameplay as the season continues.
Yeah, and 417, I don't know if it was buffed recently or something, or if it's just people just dislike the F2 now. But definitely both teams opting for the F417 here, which might be an indicator of things to come. But we actually do see our first Ying of the match here, and I'm very curious to see how that gets flexed.
Yeah, I think the only thing about the 417 that would have gotten buffed is the overall DMR buff with the destruction. I know they can take out a hatch in a couple of shots, which is pretty nice.
And Hobkey proving me wrong, swapping out the Ying for the Gridlock yet again. Going for that more utility approach, as Ying all she offers is her Candelas, but if you can hit a Candela, everyone is blind and it's an unhappy time for them. But we will see Case Western moving down to Kitchen.
Attackers have located the bomb.
Yeah, and Kitchen definitely, I think, is a stronger site than Penthouse, which we saw was definitely more than the Case Western defenders wanted to. It was, I believe, four attackers were still on the board at the end. It was not a very fun time for that site here, but that was. We are seeing a good amount of roaming
10 seconds to
potential
go.
here with the Mozzie, Vigil, Ella, and Legion on the board for the Western defenders.
5 seconds
Possibly
left.
will be having some more people upstairs trying to deny any sort of soft
Attackers are heading out to defuse
above.
the bomb.
Yeah, very, very aggressive stance being taken by that Ella there. I don't know if he's going for a spawn peek or something, but was pretty much out of the server's door for that brief instance. I don't know if he's just putting his shield outside. It might have been the case. Nope, never mind. Don't know. Oh, putting the shield on the thing on the door, and definitely you do have to wait for the round to start to do that. Otherwise, there's a little blocker there for it. Zofia might elect just to pop that shield very, very quickly with her shot grenade or explosive grenades from her gadget. We will find out in the near future, but so far not a lot has happened. Actually, yep, right to say that. The shield will drop and we'll begin droning again.
Here, and there actually is some control coming into this Sunrise bar. There's a Mozzie drone, possibly about to take the Twitch drone, which could be a really interesting interaction if Tim Consuela is able to go ahead and steal that Twitch drone, possibly destroy some utility on the attacking side from their own gadget.
Unfortunately for Twitch right there, Crazy Pat does not get the default game, so Case Western has every idea of where he is right now. And Service actually, drone taking actually picking out where Mozzie is, but they do actually have a Vigil inside of Blue Bar right now, which due to his gadget Hofstra might actually not know where they are, but it's going to be a very, very aggressive push here, it seems, from the Sunrise side. As Hofstra is starting to coalesce around that region of the map, probably going to look for a push here soon.
Yeah, it does seem that they lack the critical information, but as Tango Mango does go down from a grenade, I believe, here, now the fire will go ahead and spread and claim the life of here, but as Hopkey actually has gone ahead and smoked off with the Gridlocks 2, and then another smoke coming in to help Happy Towel. The diffuser does go down right outside a kitchen window.
Yeah, and one of the more common plans you'll see there, but it's actually, very, very aggressive push through coming in from Orion. They're actually getting taken down by Formal Fox. Tim Consuelo soon to follow up there. Refragging for his team, taking down Formal Fox, who just killed his own teammate. 24 seconds left on the diffuser right now, with my dog being trapped in my room. 11 will actually be down on the Maestro, bringing it to essentially a 1v4 scenario for Tim right now. And fire everywhere. Everything is burning. He can't get to the diffuser right now. 7 seconds left is not an option anymore, so he is out of time for the defuse, just fighting for his life at this point, and just getting shocked by that Twitch run. Will knife it and rage, and that will give Hofstra their, I believe, 4th round.
Yeah, I believe it's 5-4 now. If we go ahead and load and see. Yep. Now, as we go into round 10, it will be likely that we will see a return to Hookah, which is the bomb site of choice for these Case Western defenders. Actually, they will go ahead and go back to Kitchen, if maybe they feel like they have some unfinished business on this site.
Yeah, definitely was very close up until that push, as all of the defenders kind of died in one fell swoop there, unfortunately, with Orion hopping through that barricade, giving him every opportunity to get shot by the waiting, I believe it was Hobkey actually hanging out in there. No, it was actually Formal Fox. Formal Fox was hanging out in bathroom and just absolutely obliterated him as he came through the wall. But we'll see a Vigil swap out for Castle here. That's interesting.
Yeah, Castle will be a sort of a utility dump here, but now with Vigil going ahead and getting brought, that is going to put that little bit of extra drone work for the attackers. They really have to make sure that they
Attackers need to
drone just
locate
that
and
extra bit
defuse
more
bombs.
carefully, as whenever you see those bars, you know that somebody invisible is nearby.
Yep, but the awkward thing about those invisible bars is that the invisible bars actually extend vertically indefinitely, so he might not even be on the same floor as you, and it still looks like he's on the same floor.
Yeah, and that's where the strength of Vigils is here. As there will be some questions going in on chat, which our beautiful observer will be answering. But as we see the setup, it is very similar, despite the fact that actually
5 seconds left.
there
The other
is
team
an
doesn't
alibi being brought.
Attacker's objective is to defuse
There
the
is an
bomb.
alibi being brought for these defenders. Gonna try to maybe play some tricks with the Prisma Mine of Orion.
And we are getting confirmation from Twitch chat that Destruction did get buffed with the DMR, so that's probably why they rise to the 417. So the Twitch chat is agreeing with you here, C-Debs.
Yay. I've gotten Black Ice on the 417 3 times in a row.
That's
It's
unfortunate.
beautiful.
I wish I could
It's
just get
great.
Black Ice in general. Last Black
Yeah.
Ice I think I got was MP7, so it was really, really awkward. I think I did, because basically once you get the season pass, you don't really have a need for Renown anymore. So I just kind of save up for the 50-pack openings, and one 50-pack I got the same Black Ice pistol 5 times. I think it was the P2, I think it was the P9.
See, that's at least a usable pistol.
Yeah. And but we will actually see an early down here coming out of Formal Fox. Not quite sure how actually he got taken down there. Might have been a little bit of a peek from the roof. But nonetheless, we'll take him down to 20 HP very, very early in the round, which is unfortunate for him, as that kind of takes his entry fragger potential out of the map. But still, drones going down, with a lot of drones actually being taken out, as excuse me, all the defenders have lost, or all the attackers rather, have lost at least one of their drones here so far, which leaves only 4 or 5 drones up. And right as I say that, Levin gets a kill into C-Yang with a headshot from the Legion gun. I believe it's called the T5. I know my names. We will see Quan actually taking up a very, very aggressive stance inside the penthouse right now with that K1A. No dice so far, but we'll get back to you a little bit on that. But actually, unfortunately, Formal Fox does actually hit the alibi, so we'll have eyes on where he is, and we'll pay some damage off his health bar for it. And soon there to follow is Quan getting taken down, rather, Jedi would, with a very, very nice shot from him, and bullets flying everywhere as all the attackers have been kind of quarantined to this one side of the map right now. With a 3v5 scenario right now, double kill coming out of Quan right there, jumping down from the above window out of double window of Penthouse getting the kill, run out again. That's a triple kill for Quan now. 1v5 now for this poor, poor crazy pet. And he's got 25 seconds to do something here, but not a lot of space to do it.
He does have the best gun in the game, the 417, as we have learned from this.
Yes.
Because of the buff DMR, he can shoot through walls.
Seconds remaining.
Yes, this man literally has wall-defying bullets.
10 seconds to go.
Oh boy, yep, through the roof. And vertical play OP will take down the poor soul of Matt Crazy Pet there with Orion on the alibi.
Definitely, the MX4 Storm is a really interesting weapon. It shoots so fast and still hits so hard, but most people, from a competitive standpoint, don't view Alibi as quite the most competitively viable operator. There's not a whole lot of utility. However, if you do want to go ahead and use a good gun on defense and maybe throw a little curveball with those prismas sitting all over the map, wasting some time, it does have its place for a good pocket pick, as we saw from Orion last round.
Yes. The Storm is one of those guns where it's a pea shooter if you only land some of your shots, but if you land all of your shots, it's insane. Because it does have a very, very high rate of fire. So obviously high rate of fire, similar to the Vector, if you hit all your shots, you shred through people. But if you miss all of your shots as to the virtue of Siege, unfortunately, you will pay for your life in it because it's one of the weaker guns overall.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused.
Yeah, and we actually are going to see finally the return to Hookah for these defenders here. Really going to try to ice out Case Western. Will try to get their 7th round as they are on match point. Hofstra will be locked out of winning this map here, as the best result that they can get is a 6-6 tie, unfortunately for them.
Yes, and unfortunately for them, that does mean that the best they can hope to afford right now is a partial win for 2 points for them. So guaranteed 1 point each now. In the event that Hofstra managed to take it back, otherwise it can just be a 3-0 scenario for Case Western, and as far as points go, which will be entirely determined by this match. So definitely, if you're Hofstra, you want to get this round going in as fast as way possible, get as many people off the map as early as possible, just to make sure that you have that little advantage going into the last round. Because this is a comeback of biblical proportions right now. Is they started off 4-1 on, I believe it was 4-2 or 4-1 for the half, which, if you're coming back from that, and it was 4-2 on the half, I'm being notified, so definitely a kind of step up for the Hofstra team right here, as for a map that's typically qualified as a defender side of map, as most maps are, definitely leaning towards the attacker side here for both these teams, as Case Western, their attack side was very, very strong for this map, giving them their 4-2 half. And now it's Hofstra actually coming back with 3 rounds on this. It's been 3-2 right now in favor of Hofstra for this half.
Yeah, it's nice to always see some good attacking gameplay that is a little bit more fun to watch as players fly into doors and get these nutty, crazy shots on the entry frags here. As Orion actually is sitting on the complete other side of the map with his Echo drones possibly trying to deny some plant as the time dwindles down. Formal Fox is going to go ahead and be entering in through blue bar, trying to get any intel as he spots out the toes of the Echo. Now they know his location, are most likely going to try to remove him as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and Jackal being very close to actually being double peeked by Maestro and the Vigil, but will manage to avoid that catastrophe for the moment, as his team decides to start working their way up to Hookah Balcony. And will decide to actually peek again. Still no dice, but flashbang. Ooh, unfortunately does flash himself there. Eating the flashbang, but also burning up the ADS is the move here. As track stingers do begin to go out, I do believe that he's going to hold on the track stingers, as the first one got actually eaten by actually the smoke got eaten by the ADS, but the impact grenade will cancel that track stinger, and Corporal Fox actually gets the kill on 11, works his way up cool vibes, does it eventually get taken down by Tango Mango, with seeing follows up with a kill onto Tango Mango, quickly retrading. Tim the Consuelo getting the kill on the Jedi with the headshot. Nice shot from him. Hopkey coming through with the gridlock, getting the kill onto Tim the Consuela, with quickly Quan getting another kill. Quan getting 2 kills onto Crazy Pat to make it 2, and Hopkey making another trade kill onto Quan. 1v1 scenario right now. Plant is going down, doesn't know where it is, and will eventually finish out the round. Orion getting the headshot onto Hopkey. All these complex names, I can't keep up. And players saying GG in the chat, even though it is only the first round, first map there, that it will be 7-4 for Case Western on this first map, giving them at least a tie here.
Yeah, and definitely that's securing at least 1 point for these Case Western players. That definitely is something to celebrate and feel good about, as every point does matter in this late playoff push. Next map we will see, after this 5-minute break, we will go to Clubhouse, which is the map pick of Hofstra. So we will go ahead and see you in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
Broken alone, I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me, that's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality.
We both have thoughts of leaving when thoughts get thrown around. But we keep going on believing and on till we're all cried out. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. But this time it's not about escaping. We don't feel like it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this Open League matchup between Hofstra University and Case Western Reserve University. For those of you just joining us, the first map was a win for Case Western, 7-4. So that is one guaranteed 1 point for them. My name is Bonsai, and my co-caster CDAPS is here to cast with me.
Hello, everybody.
And want to give a quick shout out to our actual sponsor of the league, because we actually do have 3 sponsors, which is pretty awesome. We have a returning sponsor in the form of Rogue Energy. Use code CEA for 10% off your total order at checkout. And seeing how it is getting into midterm season, regardless of the fact that coronavirus has canceled a lot of your classes for the foreseeable future, going into online, you also get into those study break, those tests are still coming up regardless, so if you need a little extra pep in your step, get you some Rogue Energy, 10% off your entire order at checkout with code CEA. We actually got 2 new sponsors coming in here. We got Corsair coming in helping out with some giveaways and also the prize pool, but also just getting sponsored by Corsair period is amazing because they're an amazing company. And then also we got What's New.gg, which is the apparel store, which some of the teams in this very league actually have some merch up on there, and CEA is going to be joining them with some merch very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what we whip out from the CEA merch. I've heard some whisperings that it's definitely going to be fire for sure.
For sure. But as we are talking about our wonderful sponsors, we actually have gotten into the second map, which is actually going to be Clubhouse here. And it's going to be the bands so far being Maverick, Nomad, and Maestro. The Maverick band, the Maestro, I'm not quite sure about, but the Maverick band I agree with wholeheartedly, as Maverick tricking is the bane of any kind of wall hold you want to have. And when you're trying to hold cash or CC, it's impossible if there's a Maverick. It's just not a fun time for whoever's bandit tricking there. But I think this is going to be a bandit or a actually Legion ban. Very, very atypical ban there. But I mean, whatever works.
Yeah, it's definitely, as we've seen, Legion did just recently get nerfed, but apparently still does provide just that little extra bit of annoyance that these attackers don't want to deal with here. But as my prediction is, yep, as I was just about to say, we will see these defenders going ahead and going downstairs for the first attack.
During that break, we did see a little bit of conversation about why both teams took the 417 in the team chats in the lobby. Apparently, both teams don't like the F2, and that's why they're taking the 417. But 417, it's weapon choices coming out for them. At least they're not all taking suppressors like most of my ranked games have been so far this season. But at least it's being useful, as these teams have actually been mildly successful with the 417 thus far.
Yeah, I mean, if you're accurate, you can go ahead and do whatever you need to with those DMRs.
Yep. We will
Actually, we'll
see
see
return of Echo.
Defenders,
Yeah, I was
protect
just
your
about to
bombs
say,
from
there's the
being
sixth
defused
pick
by
off the
attackers.
Bandit. Possibly these Case Western that Tango Mango was trying to do a little bit of a mind game in showing the Bandit. Probably, Bandit is definitely an operator necessary to hold either Jim or CCTV.
And we do actually see the switch out coming in for Case Western here, as Tim the Consuelo actually got swapped out for Noxious Leon, who this Noxious Leon is the main roster player for Case Western, with Tim the Consuelo actually being the sub,
10 seconds to
because Noxious Leon unfortunately had a little bit of a blue screen of death type situation on his
5
computer
seconds left
earlier, so
before
couldn't make it for
insertion.
map 1,
Attackers have
but is
discovered the
here
location of a
and
bomb.
ready to play for map 2, and
Attackers
excited to
have
see
moved
how
to
he
the
turns out for his team.
Yeah, I know Tim the Consuelo did play quite well. The main round that I remember is first round when he was on Nomad. He clutched out for his team, so he definitely had some sort of presence. There are definitely going to be some shoes for Noxious Leon to fill. I'm excited to see exactly how he adjusts into this matchup.
And judging by his initial pick of Vigil, he is trying to go full gunner mode. And we'll be posting up inside of the logistics office. My mind is blanking there as far as callouts go, but he is going to be sitting in there trying to get a little bit of a anti-gadget type situation for Kitchen. Whenever that Hibana inevitably tries to go for that hatch, he's going to probably shoot through those holes he has made in the floor and stop those pellets from going down.
Yeah, opening up those lines of sight is something very strong, as these deep roamer of Vigil is going to be very hard to precisely pinpoint his location as soon as he activates his cloak. With the Clubhouse being a map with 3 layers, we talked about that propagation of those little indicator bars, being able to go up and down through the floors. So as a drone, you don't know exactly where they are, but we will see a the diffuser going down to a I Can't get the word out. A C4 from beneath Formal Fox is removed, and that is the primary hard breach and only hard breach.
Oh no.
Panther is going to be taken away.
Oh, hit your shots, brother. That's unfortunate there. He had the drop on Hobkey there from the second floor, but could not hit his shots, unfortunately. Otherwise, that would have been a very, very quick second kill for Case Western on this round, but Hobkey does get away with his life, and actually no damage onto him, so might have hit a couple of the floor beams there in that, but do know that two of Hofstra's players are coming in through that dirt area, and Mango is here to intercept. Curious to see how it's going to go down, but Crazy Pat first is going to get the 417 kill on Noxious Leon. Not a great way to start off your first round of the game, going down immediately, missing shots, but nonetheless, will get traded out with Quan, his teammate, taking down Crazy Pat to finish up and bring it down to a 4v3 situation now, running back to site. But that is the Twitch down. Thatcher, it would seem, soon to follow. Mango actually taking down Hobkeep there. Lion down now. And then Jedi getting taken down by Orion. It's a kill fest all around for Case Western here, with Quan actually finishing out for, I believe, the 4K?
I think that definitely was a 4K. Really strong operator choice of the Valkyrie. Getting any intel in from those cameras is always amazing to see. But unfortunately, Thatcher's EMP grenades are way too strong, and as soon as he threw it, we do have a unfortunate admin rehost. So we will be back online shortly as soon as the technical difficulties are fixed.
Yep, and for those wondering, it is the mute bug where the mute jammer sound persists past the round. A very unfortunate circumstance, and it is very annoying, so we will be having a rehost to fix that, and Case Western will be leaving to get the forfeit win, and then we will rehost and reset, and we will be back shortly with the round. Mm.
Okay, so actually, we aren't even gonna go ahead and go off stream here. We're just gonna go ahead and play it by ear and go fast because Carpe's got the fastest fingers in the West here, getting this rehost done as quickly as possible.
And we are getting confirmation that it has in fact been only one round, so his quick as lightning fingers are actually going to be able to get this down lickety split, and we'll get back into the action very, very quickly here, as match history will only take one click of a finger from him, as his fingers are basically macros, and
Yeah, these are the good kind of macros. These are the kind of macros that you can't get banned for.
yes.
These are the beautiful typing macros that really help everybody go and be happy. And speaking of macros, if there's any admins in chat, can we get an exclamation point 417 for the meme for a good copy pasta spam? I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
As the 417 is a superior gun to the F2 in every single facet you can imagine.
For those of you wondering, I am not crazy. I am laughing because I can actually hear our observer Carpe in our ear, um, our collective ear, and quick as lightning fingers actually coming in a little too quick for Carpe here, but we'll actually get the settings get down, and we are actually getting Case Western back into the lobby, so things will become once again as they should be, and great first round here, though. Out of, I believe that was Case Western winning the round. So definitely, definitely a good start for them to possibly on their road to a 2-0 victory here.
Yeah, and it was off the back of the heroics of that Valkyrie getting the 4K, which is definitely something you want to do. Maybe clip it for himself to constantly be able to watch whenever he's feeling down here. But as we are still waiting on one more Case Western player to return, after that, we will go ahead and get right back into it of round two of Clubhouse.
Which round two of Clubhouse? Before we actually got out of here, I do believe it was actually going to be a gym bedroom hold from the Case Western side here. I'm curious to see if it continues through and they're going to stick to the whole gym bedroom plan, or if they decide to go upstairs towards cash.
Yeah, I think they actually do have to stick it because it is an administrative rehost here, as well as the operators. Actually, I'm completely wrong. nothing is locked. So the defenders will have the option to go between gym bedroom or onto CCTV. Unless they want to get really saucy and try to hold bar, would be quite interesting to see.
If we see a bar match here, I will actually eat the hottest thing I can find in my house.
I'll send a video of me I'm shooting myself with a paintball gun into general. Hold me to it.
Yeah, he'll shoot himself with a paintball gun. I will eat a hot pepper.
I
Please
hope
do
they
not
don't.
ping the people in the lobby. They are doing their best to focus, and totally not me covering for the not want to eat a hot pepper at
Yes,
what is
please don't.
10 p.m. at night.
Yeah, it's 9:56. I'm not really trying to. But at this instance, we are actually going to see the gym bedroom hold. In addition, with the possible clash pick, as she has been reestablished, will be interesting. Actually, it was just a hover. That's a bit of Caster's curse. As soon as you say something, they change.
Yep, and we will see the castle coming out here, which is pretty standard for this site. Very, very curious to see what they're going to do with the bandit. But as I say that, the words leave my mouth. I know exactly what they're going to do. That is going on Jacuzzi Wall.
Yeah, most likely we'll be seeing a bandit trick, which is always fun. As a bandit main myself, tricking is the only happiness I get and joy is removing thermite charges off of walls.
And unfortunately for you, it would have been a very,
Advise
very
you need to
sad time for
locate and
Bandit
defuse
if
bombs.
Bandit tricking hadn't been discovered, because little fun siege fact for everyone, Bandit tricking was not actually an intended effect of the Bandit operator itself upon release,
Yeah, it's
and it's
definitely
actually one of the
something.
only things that makes them viable.
Yep. I mean, having a nitro in the MP7 and a
MP7 is kind of busted now.
MP7's a great gun. Plus the nitro and the 3-speed being able to run all over the place. You know, Bandit had a hard
Locate
life.
a bomb.
He did.
So
That's why
he has earned
that's why his
respect.
lead skin looks so scuffed.
Yes. But I mean, the motorcycle's pretty sick.
Yeah,
10
I played
seconds left.
Bandit exclusively in last rounds of ranked games when I'm guaranteed to be MVP, just so I can have that little MVP rev the engine.
It's actually going to be interesting that Orion has gone ahead and taken the Mira. It's really going to help them spread out their horizontal hold all the way to the cache walls here in the CCTV area. They're going to be holding the entire third floor. Which should be interesting to see.
Yes, it's pretty standard hold I actually think coming in here, as usually the plan here is when you have the gym bedroom hold, you castle off both the window of gym and the door of gym, so that the bandit can trick as he so pleases, and then you hold a pretty hard setup inside of cache actually, with fully reinforcing that whole cache area, and then having two people sit in there, which it does look like Case Western is actually doing here. Ooh, very nice mirror there, actually, in case the wall does get open, can kind of just have the backup there in the event the trick doesn't work out their way. Very, very aggressive movement here coming out of Leon right here. And it's a very interesting move for him, as usually you want to sit as far as you can inside the cache room, make them come to you, as where he's positioning himself right now actually does leave him a little bit open to getting shot from the garage window, but there is actually a hole opened up here, which is a very nice hole to have, and nearly gets the head of Gridlock, but instead will actually take about as much damage going back. Quan lit up about half the same as Hobkey, and that is actually the new skin with the season pass on Quan there. It's called I forget exactly what it's called, but it's a very nice skin in my opinion. I think it's Bite Jaeger.
Yeah, it's Jaeger Bite. I really like
Jaeger
this
Bite.
one. Personally, it does look quite clean. But as the Gridlock is going to go ahead and remove some of the rotation with those track stingers, it does look like these attackers are just going to go ahead and jump in these windows and try to get a plant down inside the site.
And it's going to be a very aggressive stance coming down here. For the actually everyone's in a line right now over by that window, and it could be very, very bad if one Nitro to come out, kind of play upset to them. Ooh, but there is Formal Fox does hop in here. Tango Tip Mango takes down the first one of Jedi Wood. Quickly, another kill followed up here by the Orion's Mira, taking down Formal Fox as he pushed very, very hard into sight, getting down into. Ooh, my goodness! Loxus almost gets him the 3-piece from outside of. excuse me, a CC, but does actually get taken down by that 417. And Case Western will take the second round as the rest of his team does clean up from the actual site.
Yes, and we see Orion going and using that absolute jet engine of a gun to clean off the head of those attackers that all really sort of got stuck outside and just there wasn't a whole lot they could do. They had to jump those windows, and as soon as they got the sound cues, these defenders went ahead and just swung onto those attackers. They couldn't really do much. Now we will see the defenders opting to go and defend CCTV cache room, which is most people's tertiary site, but they have saved it for third, which is quite an interesting strategy we will see unfold.
Mhm. And one thing to note that this is Hofstra's rather. I'm thinking of a different thing. Let's begin with Ace, as the player of OTU, but um, Hofstra's map pick is actually this map. This is my Hofstra's map pick, and it's not going off too well for them to start, unfortunately for them. But Cathay is a little bit of a harder map to attack, in my opinion, as there are only so many ways you can get into each of the sites, and they're very, very hard to get into, especially the way you hold most of the sites now in the current
Attackers
meta.
need to locate and
But
defuse as many bombs as they can.
definitely with this strong site being picked as the tertiary map, or tertiary site rather, for this Case Western team, it's going to be a very, very interesting thing to see how they're actually going to approach this map, because there's actually very, very different ways you can go about taking down the bandit, which will be undoubtedly tricky in this scenario based upon the many punch holes that he is putting into the wall. And based upon that, they don't have a Capital here, so they're probably going to end up wanting to go from below in lobby, which can actually get taken out by someone who's playing a little bit of a more of aggressive angle on red stairs, which will just remain to be seen if they actually do end up doing that option.
Yeah, I think
5
most
seconds
likely
left.
Yang will go ahead and bring that Buckmaster key below and try to just blast out the floor, really make Tango Mango get a little bit uncomfortable in his position and probably fall off to allow the breach to go through.
But another thing to take mention of is that Lion has come out here again. Oh my goodness, that was awkward for Formal Fox there. Gets taken out very, very early with the Vigil running out. That is the Thermite down, and the only hard breach of Hofstra taken down off the map within the first 10 seconds of the round.
Yep, and that's the caster's curse right here. The Widow doesn't even need to be any bandit tricking because all the hard breach is gone.
Yep, and
Everything we just said is absolutely removed.
yep, we love absolutely just being wrong all the time. I think players exist to make casters be wrong. Speaking from both player and caster experience, I do believe that the player side of me makes all of the casters wrong constantly, as far as choices I should make versus the choices I actually make. Um, which may be a little bit of a turbo int for me from time to time, but you know, everyone has their moments. First Lion charge does come down here, not making everyone play red light, green light here, making everyone take a little bit of a Slav squat, making sure nothing goes down. But Hobkey will actually get the second kill of the round onto Quan to even it out for his team, and that is Vigil down.
Yeah, but Vigil actually is one of the operators that is immune to the lion scan, so he could have been running around if he was cloaked. Now with that operator off the board, everybody is going to have to fully get stopped in their place if they want to not have these pings go out as to showing their precise and updated location.
And we did actually see the Jaeger run downstairs, but it doesn't matter as Orion actually takes down C Yang, so that's bucked down. It's 3v4 scenario right now, but the one thing you have to look out for is Jaeger should be coming up blue stock stairs any moment now, and he is going to have a very, very unhappy moment for these attackers if he gets the flank off correctly.
Yeah,
Oh,
here and now as they will challenge the mute, Orion's shotgun will go ahead and pump Jedi Wood full of pellets and remove him off the board. But now with just Twitch and Lion left on the board, Lion goes ahead and gets removed, as well as Noxious Leon on that late flank you talked about here, taking out Crazy Pat.
yeah, and right as I was saying about the flank, Leon comes up and just absolutely removes the remaining player of Hofstra from that map, bringing them to a 3-0 right now to start it off with. And this is Hofstra's got to pick it up here.
Yeah, now that is the completion of the trifecta for the defenders. They have went ahead and won each of their sites that they wanted, their first, second, and third, and have went ahead and surged out to a 3-0 lead. We do expect on Clubhouse, it is typically the meta to see about a 4-2 split, sometimes a 5-1 on for the defenders' sides. Most of the time, defenders do win the each of the halves respectively. So as an attacker, you're just trying to get as many attacking wins as you can. to try to set yourself up to have a stronger defense set.
Yeah, and it really does come down to how you finish the rest of this half. Is if you have a 6-0 on this half, you're kind of dead to rights at that point, especially on a map like Clubhouse. Because you only have one round to play with
Attackers need to
before
locate and defuse
it
the
all
remaining
comes
bombs if
crashing
they can.
down. And definitely on Hofstra here to try to pick up some rounds before going into the defensive side, as regardless of how hard a map is to actually take, if you can't get any rounds on your attacking side, it's definitely going to be an event to try to get any rounds strung together on the defensive side.
Yeah, and the main thing, it does come down to Siege is a very mental game. When you've lost 6 rounds in a row, it's going to be hard to really straggle together your morale and push for anything past just maybe getting a round or two
10
before you
seconds
get
left
finished
before
off.
insertion.
However, weirder things have happened. I've seen 6-6 sides coming
5
off of
seconds
double
to
For
go.
sure.
6-0s.
And those are the rounds you really live to see,
Attackers'
as
objective is to
if
locate a
it's a
bomb and
6-6,
defuse it.
6-0 on both sides, that means something has either gone terribly wrong or terribly right. And it gets a little fun to read into a little bit for those 6-0s.
Yeah, it's definitely most of the time with that, it'll come down to exactly how the plans fall. As soon as Maverick is off the board on Clubhouse, it definitely swings the favor of any attacking side straight back into the defenders here.
Located a bomb.
We will see Nauseous Leon playing a very similar position to what he did last time. Hopefully trying to get a pick here as the Sledge is actually using a shotgun. Interesting.
Yeah, might just be going for a little bit of extra soft breach. I don't know why, but I do see some people actually favor the shotgun over the LED-5. It's just more of a preference thing, as the backup is the SMG-11. So it might just be a little bit of a. Also, they might have been using smoke or mute on defense. There's more use to that kind of setup there, and opting to go for that. I personally don't understand it, as I like the LED-5, as I had to play Thatcher for many seasons, so I just got used to the LED-5.
I
And
can
they
get
both
with
share the same gun. So, but we will see another Nitro coming down to take down Formal Fox, I believe, from the same exact spot. Poor Formal Fox, he cannot catch a break with those Nitros, as both times he has tried to go for the hatch, I believe he has gotten taken down by Nitros in the same exact spot in Kitchen.
Here we will see as the defenders are just bodying their way into dirt. It is interesting to see that there's an echo on the board and that yokai drone could be used to push the shield out of the way and possibly with a little bit of teamwork to kill this Monty, but they're opting to just go ahead and waste some more time as the rest of their team is just funneling in behind Monty. Here,
Oh,
as
no
the
one.
frag grenade will go over towards the echo, unfortunately will not connect.
Attackers have dropped the
Oh
bomb.
no.
Attackers
Wait,
have
how?
defused
Okay, well, Echo kills Monty, starting off the round in a very strong fashion in that regard. We will actually see Quan getting another kill on the Jedi. Double kill for him. It's a very awkward situation here now for Hofstra, as they are all inside of dirt currently, and Visual does look like he wants to run into dirt from behind. And actually is just waiting for the flank out coming now, as Vigil actually has pulled off at the most inopportune time possible, as he would have actually seen the crazy Pat running back outside. I think I called it Jackal initially because the gun looks almost the same as the C7E, but it is in fact the 417. We'll be actually making their way back into sight with 20 seconds left, and there is an echo, so this is going to be a very unhappy time for the Hofstra, and as I said, I take a Mango downs and removes Crazy Pat and C Yang for the 4th round for Case Western, bringing it to a 4-0.
Yeah, it's definitely just not the best opportunity in attack seen from Hofstra. Unfortunately, I do believe that the Monty got headshotted as soon as they went for the smoke grenade throw, which as soon as
That's
that shield
sad.
was dropped, that's when the opportunity arose for Tango Mango to go ahead and use that MP5 to decapitate the Monty and really take all wind out of the sails of the Hofstra attack.
You hate to see it for sure, but with that, actually, apparently, just Case Western really does not like cash at all, as they seem to be going for the tertiary cash yet again here, as Jim is their second pick.
Yeah, they are going to bring a very similar build with these Mira windows to really help them.
Cash is still locked, we are being told, because we can't actually count rounds. And there is 2-round map rotation, so they are forced to go here or bar. And if you go bar, you actually might be turbo winting. I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, possibly you could just have an insane strat on bar.
Yeah,
Wanna see
I'm
G
sorry.
when you pull out
Retract my
bar in a
statement.
fight.
You are innovating. I don't want to stand in the way of innovation. Innovation is the way, and if you have actually a good bar strat, hit me up. I do want to see your strats so I can use it myself.
Yeah, my DMs are always open.
Yeah.
5 seconds left before insertion.
SSG might actually want to talk with you as well if you can pull it off.
Attackers objective
Give
is to locate a
SSG
bomb.
all your strats so they can win again.
Yeah, Canadian really needs these strats. He wants to hit the hammer one more time before he retires. I
Yeah.
would love to see it personally.
Attackers have located a bomb.
But we will see a beeline coming in for what looks like a Claymore on the Billiards. Fuse is the swap up here for the side of Hofstra, which actually I do enjoy. As Fuse, there's a little side effect to Fuse that might not many people. Oh. I thought he blasted that one, but okay. Oh, it's muted. Okay. That makes more sense. We'll see the large detonation coming in, opening up most of the floor over there. Most of the Fuse charge actually getting taken out there by the ADSs, but Formal Fox will take down Quan. So Jaeger down, and Fuse taken down very, very low as well here, as about 25 HP remaining on him right there. And Castle on the long flank here, and a CC might actually be able to finish off this Fuse.
Yeah, and Fuse definitely worked well in order to burn out the ADSs seen in Gym, as well as using all of that noise. Did go ahead and bait out the peek from CCTV, as Formal Fox was just holding the window waiting, and went ahead and took out one of those roamers of.
And we'll actually be using the Super Shorty, which is a new addition to Castle, as of this season, which I actually very much enjoy, as Castle did not have enough soft breach, in my opinion. And now that he has the Super Shorty, all is right in the world.
Yeah, it's definitely a really strong pick because you can bring those impact grenades in addition to having that super shorty and really help bolster and help redesign the site as to exactly what you want.
Yeah, and two players of Case Western actually taking very, very, very low here, with Orion and Leon sitting on collectively about 25 HP here. And Noxious does take down Formal Fox here from that CC window, and Diffuser is down, and with 49 seconds now remaining, Hofstra's got to figure out how they're going to go for that Diffuser.
And with some soft breach going in, they gotta really take out this castle that's been lurking in CCTV, and they actually will go ahead and down him. Information might not be known as to exactly the health situation of the castle here, as they are being a little bit more cautious here. But with 30 seconds left, the diffuser is now being picked up as Tango Mango actually removes Jedi Woods. Sophia holding a very aggressive angle next to the bed, knowing where the diffuser is. Here, using the holes in the castle from the... Ooh, actually, he might get this kill, but unfortunately, Tango Mega will have the sound view of the fuse gadget going off, and Orion will go ahead and get the down onto C Yang. However, will run straight into the bullets of the waiting Hoppy, and now Diffuser is going down. Crazy Pat is taking out some shots onto Levent here, but will get down. And with this 0 seconds left, oh my gosh! Hoppy was able to get the Diffuser finished and peeked up to kill this unsuspecting mute. He didn't know where he was planting. He lacked the critical information.
The critical information was sorely lacked there. And I don't know if it was just this miscommunication on his team there, as definitely one of his teammates did get killed by the Thatcher there, I do believe. So he would have known where the Thatcher was. Maybe he didn't know that the plant was going down, but unfortunate nonetheless.
I think he had to know that the plant was going down because it was extended past 0 seconds. He started planting, I think, with 2 seconds left, so there have been 5 seconds of just the clock being on 000. All he had to do was, once that down was just put a bullet into the head of the completely vulnerable Thatcher. However, he did not know where he was, and Thatcher went ahead and whipped up after getting the diffuser down and went ahead and killed the mute. Crazy round.
Defenders,
Yeah,
protect
for
your
real.
bombs from being defused
And we
by
will see
attackers.
the cache setup this time. Return to cash. I like it. Hopefully, for the sake of Hofstra, they don't get Thermite ran out on immediately again. That would spell disaster pretty quickly on earlier in the round, and might actually be able to get more of an attack going here if they actually have the Thermite to go for the wall.
Yeah, now as a Thermite, you're definitely gonna... It's actually switched over to Jedi, where Normal Fox was playing the hard breach prior, but he has went ahead and switched onto that C7E attacker known as Jackal. However, if I'm a Thermite in this position, I'm sitting in spawn for 15 seconds and just
for sure.
not doing anything.
I like this spawn area. My drone, I love my drone. I just want to look at it more. But
Almost like he can
in addition to the season,
sitting
has
on his
actually
drone,
been,
like we said.
in addition to the season, has actually been the extended drone period, where you can actually change in your settings if you want to stay on drones after the action phase has started, which I actually personally enjoy a lot. Definitely can save some drones' lives. I think we've all fallen prey to the I'm gonna jump right as the time runs out. Then you jump right in front of a defender or a floor below or something like that and lose your drone. But with the new system, you can actually drone through the end of prep phase, which definitely nice if you're one of the support operators whose job it is to drone everything out for your entries. And we will see a mute coming down to make sure that no drones get through that little wall there. They're dedicating a lot of resources to this bandit trick here. And I don't know if he's trying to pick up the ADS there, which once the ADS gets used, you can no longer pick it up. Just a fun little fact about that. But I believe the first thermo... it still has both thermos. But now that will not be with thermos, as the bandit trick does successfully go down, taking out one of the exothermic charges. Orion starts off with the round, killing Normal Fox. That is Jackal down from the SMG-11 of Mute. Absolutely vicious on that SMG-11 this game. And unfortunately for Jedi, he has one exothermic down and is probably gonna have to move around to go try to put his services elsewhere with that charge.
Yeah, it actually will be quite interesting to see, as with the new UI that we got with this update, we are able to see that there are no more Thatcher grenades on the board to help Jedi get that breach down. He still does have one exothermic charge in his pocket. He most likely will be trying to use that on either the garage walls or possibly back towards construction. Actually, he's going to go ahead and prove me wrong and go right back onto CC wall.
Yep, and very nearly actually just took electric shock damage there. Being that close to the wall, his bandit puts his charges back on the wall. But probably will end up going into construction, trying for that cash wall that is so often gone for once the main wall plan fails. But they do have a Zofia here, so they could be trying to actually go below and getting those charges taken out from there. But it does actually look like the construction push will take place, with most of Hofstra running into construction, but they have 25 seconds here. They have to start making their moves into sight. But alright, as I said, Hobkey takes down Levrin. Quinn takes down Jedi Woods. He takes down Quan. Kills everywhere. Crazy Pat taking down Tango Mango with that Blackbeard SR-25, which sounds like the Blackbird, but it's not. It's a gun. And Noxious takes down Hobkey. Orion taking down another person with the SMG-11 of Crazy Pat. And then another kill coming out from him with the kill onto Yang.
That was a great round from Orion. He really was just taking off heads with that SMG-11. It is such a dangerous weapon up close.
For sure. I might have actually gotten... Is the Blackbeard DMR called the SR-25? Is it the SR-25 or 15?
I believe it's SR-25. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's
not
the
the SR-25 Blackbeard, though.
AR-15.50 on Maverick, and then the SR-25.
It's really... It's the AR-15.50. It's chambered in 50, which I don't know why you would need a semi-automatic 50 caliber assault rifle.
Because why not? America?
Who knows?
Well, actually, he's British. Isn't he British?
No, I think Maverick is... He's American. He's U.S. Army intelligence, I think his lore says. But he works undercover. He works undercover as part of the Urban Combat Development Group or something. I can't remember the actual acronym for it. If you want, you can actually go to his operator page after this match is done, or if in the middle of a match, if you're someone not named CDAPS, Carpe Bonusensum, or Bonsai, you can't actually check right now because you're engaged. And
now Carpe is actually challenging our authority and will be Googling it for us.
Yeah, challenging our
Which is-
authority as casters, putting his foot down about our apparently our ineptitude to actually pull out Google, which we want to focus as hard as we can on this game, as it is a wonderful game for Case Western and Hofstra, with unfortunately Hofstra lagging behind here.
Yeah, and in a 5-1 half, it definitely is
10 seconds
very
remaining.
difficult. It's going to be a hard comeback for these Hofstra defenders
5
now
seconds left.
here. Case Western will be trying to, yes, after
Attackers
After
are
high
heading out to
school,
defuse the
Maverick
bomb.
enlisted with the U.S. Army and rose in rank over a short period of time. He learned dairy and became an intelligence officer, serving in Kubal as foreign reporters, adventurers, and criminals blocked the city. That's the background of Maverick. In case you didn't know, you probably didn't want to know, but now you know.
Yep. Here at CEA, we love our Rainbow Six lore. We just love imparting you with as much knowledge as we can to make the community better and more knowledgeable, as well as making you a more knowledgeable player.
Yeah, speaking from a gameplay perspective of Maverick, he actually will be shifting up in the meta and probably played more, as he does have frag grenades now. But unfortunately, Formal Fox was not able to get his Electric Claw onto the wall fast enough to deny breach, and after a minute, the wall of CCTV is already open for these attackers.
Yeah, and with that wall open, it opens up many sight lines actually to get into this site, which this is already the polar opposite of how this site went. Excuse me. For Hofstra, unfortunately, with I believe them trying to do Cade Trick instead of Bandit Trick, which if there is a Thatcher Thermite combo, you will never win that battle. Just by sheer timings alone, as there is a charge up time on the Kaid, so as long as you get it between that, I think it's a 1 second charge up roughly. It's not a fun time for the Kaid. The Electric Claw will go down, but actually Hopkey almost gets a kill onto the Thermite, but Thermite just runs in and is currently planting and looks like he actually might get it off.
Yeah, with both of those walls on top garage being reinforced, there's nothing that anybody could have done once he got past the server. You have the additional players holding these angles, such as Orion sitting outside
Bomb located by
here,
attackers.
and there's just so many crossfires forming in for these Case Western attackers, and they will go ahead and just onslaught their way into sight and remove any threats.
That was quite a round to witness, but with that, they secure themselves the partial win at the very least, as they did win the first map, and this is if this map doesn't turn out to be a draw here, will be a 2-point advantage for Case Western, putting them at 11 for the entire division. But unfortunately, for that to happen, Hofstra has to actually step it up here, as this is their do or die moment here. If they win this round, they keep on going. But if they lose this round, that is the 2-0 for Case Western, giving them the 3 points for this game.
Yeah, that's definitely, as we did talk about earlier, it is really important for these Hofstra attackers to get the rest of their points here, secure these 3 wins, 3 points for their win.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Yeah, that would be,
attackers.
pardon me, I'm actually really bad at math here, but as Hofstra could win 5 rounds in a row and deny some points for Case Western, unfortunately, as we said earlier, they are not able to get any points from this game today.
But playing spoiler is a very fun, close second to winning sometimes. If you cannot get the entirety, why not make the other team be a little upset about how they finish it out? As it is basically just competitive trolling at that point. You're just taking away as much patience and fun from the enemy
5
team
seconds left.
in their standings and in their performance tonight. But with the final,
Attackers are
possibly
moving out to
final
locate a
action
bomb
phase
and
of the
defuse
map
it.
starting up, we will see a basement hold of possibly magical proportions, as they do have a Ella here. And Ella, for those who don't know her, her Scorpion has been kind of taken back up to kind of release magnitudes, where her first 16 bullets have no recoil, which is about a third of her mag, so kind of busted.
Yeah, and actually, I believe did get dropped to 11 points, or 11 rounds with the most recent hatch,
Attackers
but we
drop
will
the
see
diffuser.
these Case Western attackers doing a full top-down roam clear as they are entering into CCTV through the softball.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Case Western, they will find no one early on, as almost all of Hofstra is actually maintaining their hold inside of the basement right now, with Hubkey being the lone man holding out inside of blue right now. Very aggressive reinforcement there. As someone, if they had just even wandered on occasion into garage, it could have spelled disaster really early on for this Hofstra team, as they want to keep as many people alive as possible for this round.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be with a minute 40 on the board, everybody's still alive. It
Located
is
by
just gonna be
attackers.
most likely a very crazy final about 45 seconds we will see as people are gonna
Attackers have
start
located a
throwing their
bomb.
bodies in and the trades will start flying really quickly.
And we
Attackers
will
have
see the
secured the
Habana begin to
diffuser.
open up kitchen hatch, and thankfully no Nitro does come out to take down the Hard Breach's life, as we have so seen in the previous rounds here. But we will see a very aggressive push by Leon into the site, or not even the site, just basement hall itself, coming down those main stairs, losing about half of his HP to that peeking, I believe it was Jedi. But Levin will take down Siang here, bring his team up to a 5v4 scenario. And ooh, very close right there, actually almost taking down the Valkyrie, who was just almost taking down his teammate on main stairs, but does actually start running down the hallway and gets taken down by the Habana of Orion. 5v3 scenario right now as another player drops. 5v2 now. Hubkey gets taken down by Quan. And soon, Pat seems to be following very soon thereafter, as Echo gets taken down, and it's all up to Crazy Pat with about 5 HP here. Very awkward situation, and we'll actually get the flawless round for Case Western, giving them the map here for a 2-0 victory for Case Western.
That was a really great attack from Case Western. They went ahead and iced out and did exactly what they needed to, and were just able to effectively remove all of these anchors in their various corners with surgical precision.
And due to that 2-0 victory, I do believe that there is an interview that is soon to follow. So we will probably be getting one of the Case Western reserve players in here to ask him a few questions about that game. And don't know who it is as of now, as it is up to the teams to kind of decide who they want to send forth and sacrifice to the great caster gods as far as interviewee. And it does look like they'll be joining us shortly. And I personally really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, definitely was a really great game to see. Both maps were exciting, and I think my favorite round was definitely the fuse round on GM.
hmm
That was really chaotic. There was just so much destruction, as well as
Yeah.
seeing an operator be able to stick the defuse and get back up and immediately get the kill on somebody right next to him was really crazy.
Yeah, and Fuse is always one of those operators, as it gets very fun to actually mess around with, because Fuse is one of those operators where his gadget is very up in the air as far as usefulness, but he, especially against castles, he does have kind of those openings where he can shoot through. And we do actually have Tango Mango here joining us for, for Case Western,
Sophia.
and it's going to be a great time asking him as to exactly why
Yes,
exactly
please.
his team chose the 417.
Yes, that was
417 on Twitch.
Yes, sir.
yes.
Oh, dude. No, coming into it, I went to Twitch and my teammates said that they adjusted the F2, and so I've been doing BB with the DMR, and so it's like Twitch, easy peasy. So got a couple kills there, so it was pretty effective.
And also, I just want to say congratulations on your win. Obviously, 3 points for you, 2-0
Yeah.
victory. Puts yourself back up, and I think about the second place position right now, currently, or at least tied. At least tied right now.
Yeah, no, we got a pretty special division going on. We got Elon and Case Western going for that last spot there for the playoffs. So it's going to be a fun last week here.
Sounds like you got the adrenaline pumping. Was it a little bit of a kind of barn burner for you guys? Getting a little excited towards the end there.
Oh no, I mean, it's for us. We just had one job to do, and we managed to execute our plays. Hey, Hofstra's a great team, but we went with our game plan. We had back and front pushes all day there, and we managed to get the win there.
hmm
Yeah, so right now you actually after this week you will be tied precisely with Elon. I don't know how exactly the round differentials are going to go after you guys will be on both played 6 out of 7 games on 12 points. very strong. So I think my main question is exactly how comfortable were you on Clubhouse? We know that that was the map pick from Hofstra. Was that something that you kind of baited in and really wanted them to pick as
I
well?
mean, we always like to play Coastline and Clubhouse, and so to get both of those maps, we were pretty happy. On Coastline, we were fortunate they picked it. They could have also picked Cafe. It doesn't matter the map. Our job is to put the best product out there and try to get the win. So that's our mentality coming into it. It happened to be one of our favorite maps, and we happened to get the dub there.
For sure, for sure. And another thing I want to talk about is actually the situation that kind of came in with you guys. We actually had a sub on the first map due to some unfortunate technical difficulties on Leon there. Do you think that impacted your gameplay at all for that first map?
No, didn't impact it at all. Tim the Consuela, Evan, he's a great friend. He's always there to help us and to sub. So we always keep him there just in case we have those kind of difficulties. And the kid's great. You guys saw his performances out there. He did amazing for us. So we were not worried at one bit there putting them in there.
Okay, that's good to hear. Definitely good to hear. And it did actually turn out that he actually was kind of fragging out of his mind for that first map, putting in a mad work. But another thing I want to talk about is kind of I believe it was second map, the choice to keep cache as your third map or a third site rather. Do you guys just not feel comfortable picking cache first, or you just prefer basement and gym over that one?
I mean, just looking at the comp that the Hofstra kept on bringing, we thought that it would be we'd be pretty successful doing gym first, then going cash. And so we were that for the first time. They got us on the second attempt, but we just felt strong there on all three of those maps. And then we decided let's go have a little bit of fun and let's make some action happen.
Okay, sounds good. Carpe, not Carpe. C Daps, you got any more questions?
I think I'm all good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
No, I mean,
definitely.
yeah, all those teams are good teams. All those are going to be a battle, so it's going to be fun to see who comes out of Division 10 and gets into the playoffs.
For sure.
So Division 10 will definitely be one that we keep our eyes on as these last few weeks go in. So it was really nice to have Tango Mango on here for this cast. So I think we would like to take some extra time here to go ahead and thank our sponsors one more time. The boys over at Rogue Energy for repeating with us. Use code CEA at checkout, as well as our new sponsors being What's New EU .gg here for any sort of apparel needs. There will be CEA merch coming soon, as well as Corsair for any of your peripherals or other computer needs. I've been CDAPS.
I've been Bonsai, and our wonderful observer brethren has been Carpe Bonasensum, and we will all see you tomorrow for a invite matchup between. It's going to be University of Akron versus Arizona State University. I know my words, and the casters for that are going to be and Blue Card, Coinman and Blue Card as of now for those casters. So if you want to go show support for those teams and also those casters, feel free to hop in the chat tomorrow at 9 p.m. for that game. It's sure to be a good one, as invite leagues always show up. And hope to see you next time. And hope you all have a good rest of your day.
Wishing that I could run away with you. Imprisoned by fear, just pull me away, pull me away. Secret fantasies of me. Will they ever see the light of day, light of day? I don't know where you are, but I will find you. Wishing that I could run away with you. Imprisoned by fear, just pull me away. Pull